Yeah, but in 47, you do good fights.
Yeah,
You fought with contra Devon Alexander,
yeah,
big fighter.
yeah. He was when I fought him, he was like he had only had one loss, Timothy Bradley,
Yeah,
and he was like climbing back to being the guy. And I like the first fight that I had. You said, "How did you beat that guy in 1 minute?" He wasn't ready, you know. And respectfully to Devin Alexander, he just wasn't ready either, you know. That funny thing you said, you talk about the Mexican style, and I don't fight like most of the Americans fight with the shoulder roll, the hands down, a lot of speed, using
Hmm.
the ring and stuff like that. The funny thing is,
yeah.
most of those guys weren't ready for my style, you know. So that was like, you know, really helped me that most fighters didn't have to see that style a lot. You didn't see it in the gym, and you didn't see it in a lot of fights unless you were fighting a Mexican, you know.
True.
So it helped me. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
I want you to tell this story. We were talking yesterday.
Yeah.
So against Devon Alexander, you won your first championship.
Mm-hmm.
The FIB, right?
NAB, or I'm sorry, the IBF.
IBF, sorry,
Yeah, it was the
IBF.
IBF.
So
Yep.
how did that feel? And is there a feeling that you had just recently that
Yeah.
kind of felt the same?
So I'll fast forward just a little bit. So when I won the IBF title, I just boxed. I didn't watch boxing. I wasn't a big boxing fan. I watched the big fights that came on, but I didn't really pay attention. So I didn't understand what having a world title really meant. I lost the IBF title a year later, and then I went to the WBC convention. And I'm at the WBC convention, and Marvelous Marvin Hagler's there, Evander Holyfield, Tyson, I mean, Barrera, Morales. Everybody's there, and everybody's won the WBC title. So I felt like I didn't belong there. And I said, man, the next time I come to a WBC convention, I'm going to be the WBC winner, like the champion. And so the IBF just was like, you're 8 years old and this is just what you do. And so you get in the ring and he can't handle it. And so you win. But with the WBC, it was like I had to have that title because everybody that I looked up to had that title. And I trained really hard for that fight. We had some ups and downs in training camp and all that kind of stuff. But on fight night, I had my son the same year, 2018. Had my son in January of 2018, and I had that fight in September of 2018. And the fight, we had a great game plan, and I mean, it was working, but still close, you know? So after the fight, I feel like I won, but I'm not sure, you know? I'm standing in the middle of the ring, and they call my name as the winner, and I had this feeling come over me. And I was telling your son, it was the exact same feeling I felt when my wife had our baby and our baby came out. I saw him, and it was like the same feeling when I won the WBC championship title.
It's good, but you have the Mexican style. You say the Tbilisi is from Mexico. I need to be Mexican, 100%. The title, and my style. It's for that. Yeah. Many names, big names.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Lewis,
Yeah.
Oscar de la Hoya, Juan Manuel Marquez, many.
Yeah. So it meant everything to me to win that title because I felt like that was really me becoming a part of history, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're inside in the history.
Yeah.
Then Keith Thurman came around, another shot for the title.
Yeah.
What happened there? I saw the fight. You didn't look like it was really on par. You know, it didn't look like Keith was expecting or knew what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, I saw him kind of not backed up by you, but kind of thrown off. That's kind of what I felt. What did you feel going to that fight? Because it was kind of a technical fight to figure out how to get in. Because Thurman fights a little bit on the back foot, you know, jabbing and then kind of going at it, then backing up a little bit.
I watched your fight with, just watched it recently with Nassim Hamed.
Ah, yeah.
And you fought a little different in that fight than you have fought in other fights, right?
Yeah, many different.
A little bit more boxing.
The move, boxing,
Yeah.
pass.
He hit this dude with a triple jab. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, I didn't know he could do that, you know? It was great. And that's how I was. I could come to the ring and just be completely different from the guy that you thought you were going to see. Mm-hmm. My speed was just different. My quickness was different. My power was different. That kind of ferocious spirit that I have. Nobody trains that way, you know? So with Keith, it was like he had a hard time dealing with me because, again, he has never been in the ring with anybody like me before. And he was used to being that bully, that guy, you know? So we went to the ring prepared to bully the bully. And even though I didn't get my hand raised, I bullied the bully.
You did. No,
yeah.
you sure did.
Yeah.
In September, too, September is that maybe more or less Mexican party in Vegas and everything because we don't know what happened. Julio Chavez was the do the days.
Yeah.
You fought with Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
That's a great champion.
Yeah. Same thing with Danny. Danny thought that I was gonna come right at him. And Danny's a great counterpuncher. Yeah. Great counterpuncher. So we came up with a different game plan. Start the fight with your in and out movement, feint him, throw the jab, box like you did Nasim, and make him punch first. Counterpunchers don't know how to punch first. So it's almost like taking a fish out of water. Mm-hmm. If you gotta punch first, you don't really know that next move because you don't train for that next move. You train for the counter, you know? And so we took the counter away from him early. And then as the fight progressed, we just started turning it up a little bit, going at him even more every round. And I felt like that fight, one of the few fights that I've had from the beginning to the fight to the end of the fight was picture perfect how I thought it was going to be, how we planned for it to be.
Was there any point in one of your big fights where you had to change that game plan, like in the middle of the round, like round 6, halfway through the fight, you're like, this isn't working, and you're down, so you got to do something else?
I think probably the only fight that's I don't think that's ever happened as a professional or as an amateur, where we had a game plan and then we had to switch. Mm-hmm. Because I was like so dynamic that we were already gonna switch anyway, you know? So that was easy for us. But I think the one fight that I had that I should have switched up and I didn't was my fight with Terrence Crawford. The only fight that I had where I boxed him and he wasn't ready for me to box, and he wasn't ready for me to be as fast and as good as I was, as smart as I was. Mm-hmm. And then I should have changed up and went at him, and I never did.